Hi friends, it's Cindy. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to share this thrift haul with you. I stopped by my recycling center today to just sort of see how things are going with the changes that they've been making there, because they have to cut their store down to like half of the space. So I thought I would go in and check and see what was happening. So the 50-cent book sale is over, boo, but that's okay. I did pick up I think I just got this book and some other things because I did bring home an awful lot from the book sale. So this is Motors Flat Rate and Parts Manual of 1965, and this is just a humongous book. I got it because, like, when you open it up, it's just really cool. So, you know, it's been around, right? It was probably flipped through at a garage when they had to figure out, you know, this is for a Buick, a Cadillac, like, you know, they have to go through and kind of learn a few things about a car if they haven't worked on it, right? So I think that the stuff in here, like, I like the pages are nice and patinaed, and like, it's actually nice paper. It's kind of like I don't know if it's quite semi-gloss, it's a little more matte than that, but I really like the pages, and a lot of them, I mean, Dodge Fairlane, you know, they talk about a lot of classic cars, and that's fun, and I think this would be a really nice background for collage. It has this labor price conversion table in it. That's funny. That's so like falling apart and old. I'm sure they looked at that often, but there's illustrations in here. See, like this, the Rambler. Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff, like tables and illustrations and, you know, whatnot. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. I could see it being, you know, really fun to collage on. So happy about that. I think that's a cool book. The back's pretty cool too. Okay, so set that aside. I was just trying to see if there's anything else inside of it. Okay, then I found this. So this is also from the recycling center. So this is 1997, Dominic's Art Attacks, and I thought that was so funny. So I don't know if you're in Canada, you might know Art Attack as a show. I don't know where else it was broadcast, but I grabbed this because just take Dominic's art from 1999 out of here. We'll take his Art Attack out. And the rest of this book is actually black watercolor paper. So I was like, no problem, I will take that, thank you. It's a really nice, high quality book, actually. So thank you, Dominic, for not using up the whole book with your Art Attacks. Then I got such a strange mix of things today, because I wasn't really there to go thrifting, but I did because, you know, I did. I got this roll, huge roll, of drywall tape. It's 500 feet, in fact. So we're just going to be making 500 feet of collage rolls. So I hope you guys are here for that. We're going to do it all in one video. The video is going to take me approximately 7-8 years. I'm not sure. Hope you're here for that. But yeah, it's going to be enduring. So it's a really nice paper though. Like, and I thought it would be fun. I haven't made collage roll in ages, and I was just like, why not? And also, it's not that hideous, like, register tape that's, you know, got the cancerous stuff all over it to make the heat, like the like, what is it called? Heat, not heat resistant, but like the reason why like laser tape and catch registers turns black is it has this really awful carcinogen that is sprayed on it. So like, don't touch it. You can get the same kind of tape that doesn't have that, but I work in an industry where for a long time we were dealing with like machines that use that tape, and you know, eventually a lot of our clients you know, said, we don't want to use this tape anymore because it's got this and that, and so it's a really yucky stuff. You don't want to use it. We don't manufacture it, but it was just, it's a supply that's used in my industry. And then I found this, and I just kind of rescued it. It was in this old McCormick's box, which makes me think, actually no, it's Macintosh I'm thinking of. This week I was watching Catherine from Sunnyside Journals in her thrift haul, or last week I guess, she got a Macintosh tin, and it reminded me, Macintosh toffee in Canada, it's always come in a box, a piece of taffy about this big, and about, I don't know, maybe, it's probably been like, I don't know, almost probably 10 years now. They started to put them in these plastic bags instead, and there was this lovely Scottish man working at a gas station one winter night. My friend and I were driving somewhere, and or my husband actually, I was with my husband, and we were driving back like from visiting my parents into the city that we lived in. And so I went in, and they had a box of them on the counter in the new plastic like sleeves. So I grabbed a couple and threw them on the counter when I was paying for gas. He said, "Oh, Macintosh, still got them, but they didn't come in a box." So they don't come in a box anymore, right? And now whenever we have Macintosh toffee, I look at my husband and I say, "Oh, they didn't come in a box." It's just the cutest thing ever because he was so cute. But anyways, this is an old Chalkware fish. Why, you ask, did I pick this up? Well, because my mom had teal colored ones with bright red lips in our bathroom when I was a kid, like the entire time I lived with them. And I just, it's like a fond memory, and I feel like I just really love these fish. I have like a couple other ones somewhere in storage, so I just had to grab this one. She has a little chip here, but that's totally fine to me. I really love these. They had a lot of Chalkware today at the recycle center for some reason. So this lady had come rushing up to me. She said, "Excuse me, did you find any sparkly fruit in your digging?" Because I guess she could tell I had been digging. And I said, "No, but I found Chalkware fruit." And she's like, "Oh, you remember those?" And I said, "Yes, I do." So, yep, Chalkware. Then I got this and this for jelly printing. So these were part of like a wallpaper kit, and I said, "I don't want the whole kit, can I just like take these?" Because usually they're fine, but it had a price on it, so I wanted to make sure. They were like, no, it's fine. So here I am, totally yawning because I've had a really long day. I spent the entire day outside with my kids. I am like so tired. First we went to the graveyard, went on a massive walk. My kids went scooting, and I had to chase them around. Then we went to the playground, and there was like a ton of kids there. And I don't know what it is. Like, there's a lot of parents that sort of sit around the outside intelligently, like on the benches, and watch their kids play. Me, I am like saddled with my little dog Toasty, and I'm like, my husband is always with my son because he's a bit of a flight risk at that age. So like we want to be careful that he doesn't run out of the playground. So I'm always out there too. And then all the kids just like talk to me. First of all, the dog attracts them. And then I think, they find me approachable because like I'm nice to them and I talk to them about whatever they're doing and ask them questions. And then I'm just like this playground mom. And like all these kids are like talking to me, and I'm like exhausted by the end of it. But it's a lot of fun because kids are hilarious and cool. But anyways, this is a painter's trim guard, which like I don't have when I'm painting because I'm the worst house painter. It's a nightmare. But I thought it would be really nice for just kind of dragging. Oh, that makes a terrible sound. I won't do that. Just dragging like texture paste or paint on stencils on my jelly plate. And then I can always use another nice big wide brayer. So yeah. Then I found this little Almer jar. Diet Deluxe. I have no idea what was in here. Some kind of weird diet fruit. But it's got the ounces around the edges. That's kind of cool. 6 ounces. And then it's full of these pearl head pins. Oh my goodness. This has been screwed on by like a grandma who like, I don't know. It is glued on. I don't know. I'm gonna die if I try to open this. I'm gonna make my husband try to open this so I don't destroy my hands. This is wild how tight that is. Anyway, then I did get some bitty bits. spinny bits of fabric. So just this piece, I thought that was a nice pattern. It is from DuPont Teflon, an original design by DuPont Teflon. I think this is cotton though. I don't actually think it's Teflon, even though the design may be by them. I don't know. 1985. Where's the other selvage? I don't know. Oh, there isn't one. This is the only selvage. Okay. So, yeah, it's something to do with Teflon, their design. Then I found this one. It's got little scissors, itty bitty scissors. So cute. And that was just at the recycle center like everything else. So, super random finds. And then I found some Omaha Casino playing cards. I thought these were kind of cool. So they're just from 2005. They're not that old. But I like the back a lot. I think they're like really useful. And then when I was looking through them, they just had a weird, cool, like reddish patina. Like the red has rubbed off on all the cards. Except for whatever reason, these four. I don't know how that happened. But these ones just look like they've been, maybe because they weren't used in the game, so someone would set them aside, and these were the ones that were played with, and so as they wore, they turned red from all this red paint or dye. So yeah, I like the patina on them. I thought that was really fun. It's like already pre-weathered, you know? Kind of gave me some collaging ideas. Okay. Then I found this fun big old metal button of a rose. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that is all I got. But yeah, that was my little thrift haul for today. And I thought I would just share it outside of the construct of the Thursday thrift haul because, I don't know, I'm just being rebellious. And then I also stopped in at my local scrapbook store because I came to the realization that I was down to just a half bottle of art glitter glue, so I had to get a new one. And then I also picked up some Tim Holtz stuff, some Ranger Distress Oxide and Wild Honey. I didn't have that color, and I've been watching people using it lately, and it was just like eating away at my soul that I didn't have it, so I got it. And then I also got the Distress Oxide Spray in Dusty Concord because it just looks really, really cool. I love oxides. And then I got Dina Wakley's gloss spray in Ancient. It's like a gold. I haven't used her gloss spray before. I typically use Marabou paints, paint sprays, the acrylic spray. And that's it for that. So yeah, I was happy to find all that stuff and these new sprays because I've really been enjoying doing some spraying and dyeing paper that way. I should actually show you this technique. So this will be more than a thrift video. We'll do a little technique here because I'm just easing down from a long day and I just want to hide in my studio from all of my loved ones who will survive without me, right? They'll be okay. So give me a moment. I'm going to take away all my junk and then I'm going to get my stuff to show you what I've been doing to dye the back of digital pages. Okay, all back now. So what you're seeing right here is the box that I've been using again and again for this technique. It's very, very simple and I really love what's been happening when I do this. So what the problem I'm trying to solve is when you've printed out a digital page and you really like it, but what do you do with the back? Well, this one's a bad example. It's cabbage type. Let's use this one. Okay. So this one, you know, pretty on the front, but the back is plain white and it's like, what do I want to do with it? So, you know, obviously you're going to get started with like what colors you're using in your journal. What do you want to do? So what I've done is I've been using these mixed media sprays from Marabou. You could use Tim Holtz, Dina Wakley, any other kind of spray, or you can literally just use acrylic paint, or you can mush your distress inks, oxides, other inks, other mediums, anything that you can just put in here to make color. Okay, so the other thing I'm using is coffee. So this is coffee with alcohol, so it doesn't spoil, that I keep in this spray bottle. And so I'm using spray to just, some of these sprays are not, the plungers don't like me. The other ones are okay, so we'll see what happens. I've been also just kind of dripping. So I'm going to use green and purple. Then just take a simple spray of coffee, and you can, hit it good and move it around a little bit, right? As much as you'd like, really. You can also, if you want to swirl anything in this, you can, totally up to you. But with doing nothing else, I'm just going to lay this page on this side. And then I'll pull it up. So I've got this already. Now if you decide, I want more here, you may not. Pop it down, bring it back up, and you're going to get something. So one of the nice things about using a cardboard box is there's corrugation back there. So you're going to get, some degree of printing going on. It looks like it's been stamped, kind of. Then your colors are going to bleed together here. And you can kind of, waste a little bit of time, and it will dry up a little bit, but not a ton. So I'm going to take, this is just a piece of shibori scrapbook paper. I think it's been tea dyed, but it's not that interesting on back. So I'll head on over to this side here, and you see it's soaking through because it is so wet from coffee. If I had used less coffee, it would not soak through. So this one I don't mind, but if this was some kind of an image that I wanted to keep, I wouldn't do that. So what would I do if it was an image I wanted to keep? So I'd go in with my paint. I use just green this time. I'll leave whatever's there already with the brown, and then I'll just do 1 spritz of coffee, maybe 2, very light. And then the paper example will be this one with the bees. So bring it in. See, it's not soaking through. It's not super, super wet. Then we bring it up, and we have this. And then I just lay these on my floor. They dry really quickly, actually. So you can, I'm even just sort of setting them on top of each other over here. I'm not too concerned. And then I'll take this one. So this box is now almost dry. Almost completely dry. There's little bits left over of coffee and whatnot. And then you're going to get a lighter print, and then you can move around, and just clean up whatever is left behind. And you're going to get that fun print. And then I'll do this one. I'll use a little more purple. And then I'll just go in and hit those spots a little directly. Pull it up. The other thing you can do is you can put it together once you've done this, and you can pull it apart, and you can get a bit of a Rorschach look. This is a bad example, but you know what I'm saying is you'll get a mirror image. If you only print one side, you can smush it together. So then after you've done that, you can take your box out of here. Did I get all of them? Let's see. I'll use up the excess on just this paper here, just because, right? It's color. Let's use it up. So we get a little bit of color, and you just keep adding to that as you go. So then we'll push the box out of the way. And then say these are all journal pages for your journal. You've just made them really interesting and also cohesive on the back, right? So now we'll just hit this quickly with a heat gun. And if you decide to use oxides, you'll get even more, interesting kind of colors than what I'm using here, which is just an acrylic spray paint. almost there. And you can also dry on the opposite side. This one was the wettest, but I also really think it's the prettiest. Yeah, so just think a little bit about like the paper, how wet you get it. So the other point I should make, when I use paper in my journals, I usually use, I print on cardstock. This is just regular copy paper, so there's much more soaking through that's gone on than what has happened in the other examples that I've done using this. But let's just say, you know, all these pages are going in the same journal. They're all going to be part of the same journal. So now, you know, you've got this interesting front of your page that you can, you know, put a pocket, whatever, make it like the busier page. And then when you come back here, instead of just plain journal space, you know, you've got this nice kind of page, and also it fits together. So, you know, typically in my journals, I'm going to have more pages in between these. So like you wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't be seeing that again and again and again. You'd be seeing like, you know, this, then this, then this, then, you know, use the map page here. Like, so it's not going to, you know, be a troublesome thing on your eyes, right? So, you know, if you look here and we pretend that this is a journal signature, I'll just kind of rough fold it here, but like, I think you get what I'm saying, right? So there would be this. I forgot to put one in between them. Hold on. I'll put him there. So, you know, then you would see this, then you would see this. So like it doesn't make you feel like there's just too much of the same, because you have lots of other things going on, right? So it's a lot of fun, and it kind of brings another way of like keeping the journal cohesive. And like, you know, if you were working in certain colors, this is a really fun method to use. So I've been using it, you know, after I felt kind of like I was just struggling with a lot of ideas to create like some kind of a cohesive base for the back sides of the digital pages. I do often print on both sides, but I don't always, because like sometimes I get a kit and I feel like I like all the pages and I really want to, you know, work in addition to them, not use them as like writing space necessarily, or I don't know, hard to explain. It's just kind of a feeling you get when you look at a kit, right? So yeah, so that's just a little idea for you that you might find helpful with, you know, your own work, how you put your journal together. You don't have to do it exactly like I do, but I find it a lot of fun, and I like the fact that it makes the back sides of my pages fit a theme of some kind, right? So I look at the colors I've used here and I almost feel like, you know, these are kind of like colors that you might see like in a winery, right? That's kind of like a winery type colors, like greens and purples. You think about wine and grapes. And then if I look at this page, you know, it really fits in with that whole idea, because we have grapes here. So yeah, that is where my thought process was going with that one. I just wanted to share that with you quick and make this little kind of mix up what's happening today kind of video, because it has been a long day and I am so going to be ready to sleep. I am so sleepy, but I'm probably going to hide here in the studio for a little while, because I'm starting a new project today, I think. Let me move these, I'll show you. I feel so guarded showing anybody at this stage of the work that what I'm doing, and I have no idea why that is. But hold on, let me move. I've got to put this book away, it's so heavy. I need to move it out of the way because it's sitting on my current project box, which is this. So for a super long time, I've had it in my head, hold on, that I wanted to make a journal that was based on Studio Ghibli's Howl's Moving Castle. I am a massive fan of Studio Ghibli and a massive fan of Studio Ghibli. Like, I just said that right? Howl's Moving Castle and Studio Ghibli. I'm a huge fan of both. So some time ago, I got these two prints that are canvas, and they're both renditions of Howl's Moving Castle. I want to use this one, I think only. I don't know. I might make 2 journals. I don't know. But I want to use this, and I am also doing some design work, like to kind of work with the theme of Studio Ghibli and Howl's Moving Castle. I'm doing some design that I feel like will be really good for the journal. You know, I originally started doing this. Did I keep it? I don't know. I have also a Studio Ghibli book that I've cut up there. So I had started working on this. I also have this book called The Tower to the Sun that I think will make really good pages. Because I feel like it's got a lot of cool scenes in it. Look at that. That are very, you know, fantastical and Ghibli-ish. And this is kind of how my brain puts things together. They don't have to be exactly, like I don't need to have a journal that every single page has something Studio Ghibli. But you know what I started to do when I first thought about designing this journal, the way I was working on it? I was literally, so I made this cover, which I love, with my own dyed paper. And I'm like, I'm going to literally build, like I looked at a picture and I thought I would, you know, I would draw each section individually, and then I would put them together. And I started to do that. And then I was just like, what is humanly wrong with you? Why are you doing this? What? Do you know how long it's going to take to do all this? I had, okay, this is a look inside how crazy I go. I had literally cut out little pieces of fabric that, that look like these. And, what was that? Oh, it's my heat gun. So, and I was like stringing this little line on this little wire. Oh my gosh, make it stop. So then I was like, no, just stop right now. Okay, so this is going to be part of a pocket. I'm not going to throw the work away, but I'm not building this whole freaking thing. I'm not going to felt little bushes like I wanted to and get little pieces of wood veneer. I'm not going to do it. Stop me, right? Okay, so these are all from Studio Ghibli, like fan kind of book that I got. These are all beautiful pages. These are all pictures that are from a Studio Ghibli book. And so yeah, those are definitely going in the book. They're amazing. And so I'll set those aside. What else? Okay, so this is from like a coloring book that said we cannot direct the winds, but we can adjust the sails. So that's going in there. Then this is a piece of like weird paper that I was using. It's coffee dyed paper I was using to build. See, this is where I cut all these pieces from when I was building that whole thing. Oh my gosh. This is the picture I was using as inspiration for it. Lord. Okay. And then that's the back cover of the book. And then I also felt like, okay, a couple more of my assets here for the book. So I really like this piece of Stamperia paper. It's from like their, it's like a steampunk kind of collection, I guess. The Illustrated London News. I like this image, this house with wings. I feel like it goes, Lady Vagabond, that's what it's called. It goes with things. As does this cat. I love this cat. I felt like that would be a great page in the journal because it's got that same like mystical kind of feel to it, that majestic, you know, magic feel that only Studio Ghibli can inject in things. So that's going in the journal. I also, it reminds me of Cat Bus, right? For those of you who, is it My Neighbor Totoro that the Cat Bus is in there? So yeah, so that's where I'm going to be focusing my energy for a little while, I think, on this book. I have a bunch more to do. I still am working on some design work that I want to put in here. I think I need to make the spine quite big for this one because it's going to be a chunky book, I think. I'm scaring myself at like how much I probably want to make for this, but We're going to keep it under control, right? We're going to do that. Okay, so that is my project that I think I will do next. I'm also really wanting to make another fabric cover journal. And I'll show you what I want to make it from. Also, I will pick up my pour heat gun that I dropped on the floor. Let me just, there we go, put that back. So I think I told you a while ago, I have lived vicariously through my children's clothing for quite some time. And this is a little romper, a little jumper that was my daughter's, these cute little pockets, and she's grown out of it, and it's so cute, and I just think it has such an Art Nouveau feel to it with these trees. This fabric is just beautiful. I love it, and I want to make a journal cover with it. Where is it from? Oh, tag, I don't know. But anyways, I love this fabric. So I don't know if I'm going to specifically make it like pink Art Nouveau. That could be really pretty. I've got some ideas. I'm also thinking about using my upcoming November. I have a kit coming up in November for my Patreons. It's the Journal Together kit. So every month I do a Journal Together kit that I've designed. And I'm thinking I might use that kit as part of this journal. So I'm probably going to work on the cover. If you saw the pink autumn journal that I recently made, I sort of did that. I used a piece of clothing from my kids' vintage clothing collection that I've been, hacking up here, because you can't hold on to these things forever. So that's what I'm going to do this time too. I was really happy with how that one turned out. So I have to think about how I want to do that with this one, and if I want to do it like piecework like I did with the other one. But I'm really excited to make it. So yeah, I'll probably get started on that. I don't know what I want to work on next on the channel. I'm not sure. Indecision, it's just indecision. But maybe I'll work on just both of them, both of the journals I want to start. So yeah, that's where this is going. And then I'm also working on designing some very scary monsters for another project that I want to do for someone that I have in mind, that I hope that she'll find it appealing. Yeah, so that's what's going to be coming. And now I probably should just do some work and relax and maybe just watch some YouTube or catch up on Grey's Anatomy maybe. So I hope you are well and that you have started to have a lovely weekend already. And tomorrow I am just going to maybe try to do some work here at home. I have my husband, I've got him working away on our little free library. He has cut the door for the replacement of the door, and he has painted it. So tomorrow I'm going to put the shingles on the roof, because we're re-roofing our little free library door, and we're going to have to go buy a latch, which I forgot to do today because I'm a silly head, and I have to put the latch on and put the plexiglass in the window and put the whole thing together, because right now it looks like it's not a little free library. It looks like the projects of the little free library. I don't know, it looks a mess right now. It needs a new roof, it needs a new door, but that will all hopefully get done tomorrow. And I did have a really super wonderful conversation with a new neighbor who just moved in on the next street over. So my daughter came running out of the house. We were getting ready to go out today, and all of a sudden I heard this excited squeal, which to me immediately said there must be a dog somewhere in the vicinity of my daughter. Surely enough, it was our new neighbor, and she's like, "Oh, hi," and her dog was so friendly and sweet. And so we got chatting, and she's like, "So how does this work? What if I want to read some of these books?" And I said, "They're yours to read. I just ask if you can return them at some point, or send on some other books. That would be awesome. If you can't, you can't. Either way, I'm totally cool with it. So just enjoy it. That's what it's there for. It's a community free library." And so she was super dumbfounded. She'd never heard of them before, and I was like, "Oh, well, they're wonderful." And yeah, they're a lot of fun. So I love the little free library, and if you can build one, do so. Even, I think when I move, I want to make a really big one. I want to make a food pantry, and I want to have a stick library for dogs. And yeah, I just want to expand it. I think it's so fun. I went to one when I was on vacation this year in, I think like near, where was it? Like somewhere near the Simcoe County area. We went to one called Steve, the little free library, and it was so cool. It was like, it looked like those old phone booths, like the ones in Doctor Who, but it was probably 3 times the size. It was huge, and like it was so beautifully curated. Like all in the bottom, they had books for babies, books for little kids, and then the low shelves had children's books, and then one side had magazines, and then as you got higher, there was like 3 or 4 shelves of just, you know, fiction and nonfiction. There was coloring books. Outside on a stump, they had a stick library for dogs. It was just cool. They had a rock library, and you could paint, like do painted rocks, and I loved it. It was so fun. So yeah, I like those little community things that you can kind of bring home, and people know that, like, you know, your house is just one that, like, hopefully it feels like a good part of the community. And it's like, I have you know, we have a sign on our door that talks about like how it's a safe space, you know, for people. And yeah, I think it's a nice way to just be in the community with other people. So anywho, that's me just rambling. I should probably do something before I completely fall asleep, but we'll talk again very soon, and this you will see next time, becoming a book. So have a great day. Bye for now.